Welcome to this Java Break with BASIS. In this week's session, we'll be covering a preview of the upcoming TechCon 2011 in Las Vegas, Nevada. My name is Paul Yeomans, and today I'll be joined by our CEO, Nico Spence, in presenting the dozens of great reasons that you can join your peers who've already registered and we'll be seeing in just a few weeks. Let's take a look at the agenda. First, we'll talk about what the focus of the upcoming conference is, and then we'll go through briefly a few of the reasons why you should be attending, not only the community aspects, but of course the learning and expanding your knowledge on the BASIS technology. The conference itself is followed by 2 days of hands-on training led by the engineering experts who develop the code and push the technology forward for BASIS. Then we'll show you a couple of demos that will be expanded into full-blown presentations at the conference. And at the end of this session, we'll take your questions and provide you with answers. Let's get started. Cloud technology has added value to all businesses, so this is the chance for you to learn how you can step into the cloud with BASIS. If you've enjoyed the past year of Java Breaks with BASIS, you already have a small taste of what's in store for you at this year's conference. BASIS moved into the cloud in 2010 and has never looked back. Come learn how our experience can benefit both you and your customers. Everything from CUI to GUI to BUI, and BUI is our browser user interface, now runs in the cloud. Even our source code archives, our build machines, test machines, and production machines all now live in the amorphous cloud, scattered in data centers that stretch from the East Coast to the West Coast and to Europe as well. Our communication also moved to the cloud, and this would include our email, our voice, our instant messaging, as well as SMS. As a side note, you can reassure your clients that Pro5, Visual Pro5, and BBJ are all IPv6 compliant and capable with the release of version 11. Briefly, here's why you should attend. First of all, you have the benefit of the expanded BASIS community. You can expand your knowledge of the BASIS technology, and briefly, that whole technology stack extends from the language and interpreter through database management, development tools, system administration, and applications, and the whole concept of the building block architecture. The end of the conference provides you with hands-on training. This year's BASIS Technical Conference brings together your development peers from around the globe for 3 days of cutting-edge technical sessions, followed by 2 days of focused, hands-on training and unparalleled networking opportunities. You can network with those developers from across a spectrum of industry verticals. You can network with your peer end users to discuss your priority issues such as data access, disaster recovery, Sarbanes-Oxley compliance, system performance, whatever. It's an open forum that we provide at that breakfast. The open discussion gives our end user community the opportunity to explore how other companies address these issues using BASIS technology. There will be FaceTime with the engineers. These are the folks that you may have emailed or had list conversations with. They will be there in person, and that's really invaluable. Hands-on training provides you the opportunity to expand your skills. And as I mentioned, we've had a very strong response, early response to the registration for the event, and we'd invite you to join the response of your peers. Let's walk through a couple of those levels of the BASIS technology stack. In the world of language interpreter, we've got exciting news on web apps. In one fell swoop, BASIS has enabled your desktop app and made it ready to run on the web. Nothing new to learn. You write your app as if you're writing it for the desktop, and it magically appears on the web. BASIS even ships their products with a built-in Jetty web server to serve up your application to your desktop, your laptop, smartphone, or tablet of choice. There are new BASIS tools for cloud enabling your app. You can discover how PDF printing, Xcall, and Google App integration allows you to be both cloud capable and to leverage the cloud's benefits in your Pro5, Visual Pro5, and your BBJ applications. In the realm of database management, we've got new database techniques that are both applicable for the cloud or on-site. With new tools from the OS, BASIS, and the open source libraries, we can help you make live backups, speed data access, and otherwise manage your data wherever it lives. Come learn how to use the new, maturing online copy job interface to make your backups, upgrade your customer, add new keys without ever interrupting your Pro 5, vPro 5, and BBJ users. We'll also be unveiling BASIS's new database replication and trigger enhancements. Come learn how to use the new database replication for your backup and recovery requirements without changing a single line of code in your application. The new enhancements to the online copy jobs and the optimizations to the triggers give you a faster way to keep your data safe and archived. See the new granular, faster triggers available in 11.0 for the very first time.
Thanks, Paul, for that brief introduction. I believe this is one of the most important new features of the upcoming BBJ 11 release, is our replication database capability. Let me give you a couple of brief looks at the screenshots in Enterprise Manager. We have the ability to replicate the BASIS database within the Enterprise Manager. We can start up a replication job. All we need to do is specify the source database, the destination database, the source directories and the destination directories, and we can begin the replication of your database. So your Pro 5, your Visual Pro 5, and your BBJ clients can be connected to this BASIS database management system. No changes required to your underlying program code to take advantage of this. This will all happen at the file system level. Let's have a look at the wizard screenshot that just tells you about the various steps that you'll need to take to move large databases across and start a replication job. Firstly, we recommend you copy all the data files to your destination machine. Briefly have everybody stop using the source system. Then use rsync to update the destination data files so that they match before starting the replication. And then create and start the replication job, and then allow all your users back into the system. At that point in time, any changes to the primary database, your production database, will be replicated across to your destination replicated database. And you can have multiple jobs running at the same time. So you could have the database replicated to more than one location. The important thing here is that should your BBJ services go down for maintenance for whatever reason, those replicated jobs are persistent. So they will persist through a reboot of your primary server. And of course, it's necessary, should you ever decide to terminate those jobs, that you go to Enterprise Manager then and manually terminate them. But this is a really exciting feature. Some of the use cases would be the ability to create a parallel database for reporting. So you can let your users run amok on your replicated database and really chew up system resources, and your production system doesn't suffer whatsoever. Similarly, you may wish to have a cutoff point and have a backup at a set point in time. All the kinds of features and functions that online copy jobs offer, replicated database offers as well, with the advantage of it being much more efficient than the online copy job, trigger-based type structure, and a lot more capable of running across wide area networks as well as local area networks. So we really look forward to showing off this functionality to you at TechCon. Some of the more cloud-based features that you can expect to see at TechCon is, have a look at the screenshot. This is an ability to save a Google document. In other words, save it up to Google Docs in the cloud. So this could be running on your local machine. We've utilized the Google API to give you the presentation level as if you were saving this to a local disk. So you're able to see the various directory structures, see the various files that you have available, and you can create new folders, load up spreadsheets, save spreadsheets, etc. So look forward to showing you some of that functionality at TechCon. But wait, there's more. Let's see some of these in action. The first sneak peek I want to show you is the Google Apps API. Here we're going to interface with the Google Calendar application, and I'm logging into Brian Heppel's email account, and I'm going to click on a button to create an event. Now this might just look like I'm running a Google app. Well, that's what it's supposed to look like. In actual fact, I'm running a BBJ program, running it in the browser user interface, and I'm interfacing with an active Google web page. And here, this event dialog that I have to create a new event is all BBJ code. So I'll add a buoy Google Calendar event, and we've taken to replicate the functionality that would be available in the browser to give you the ability to create a repeating event, in this case weekly one, and I'm going to select via little radio buttons that are checkboxes that I want to have it run on Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday. And clicking on Done puts me up to the next part of the API where I'm going to pick up on event details. And so all of this is standard BBJ controls that are now being rendered in the browser via our buoy capability. So again, we've written this code in BBJ and we're interfacing to the Google app by utilizing the Google API. So again, a seamless presentation, but this is our app running on the web. So this could be running on a desktop browser, could be running on a mobile device, on a tablet type PC as an example. So when we save that, we go back to the Google Active web page and we'll see that those events are automatically repopulated. So a seamless interface between our Business Basic coding and our Google app. So what a wonderful way to extend or add functionality to your application and have it run in a browser. Again, here I've looked at the detail and we see that same functionality. Let's have a look at another API, and that's an API to the Google Sites functionality, another Google app. And let me connect to the BASIS domain. I want to do a search for a test page that's currently hosted on the Google Sites. I need to provide my user authentication again. I'm stealing Brian's authentication. And then that'll show me the particular document. And let's do a find and a replace of some text on that Google site page. So we'll replace the date updated with the text last updated, and we'll see that refreshed once we click on the replace button. These buttons are BBJ code. The display of the site is, again, Google Active web pages that are being displayed within the browser user interface. So I'll change that back just for consistency, but a good example then of what you can get with interfacing to the Google API. See more of that at TechCon. Before I move on to the next one of the challenges we've always faced in writing business applications is what happens when we want to run these business applications in the browser. So let's have a look at probably one of the most widely known web-based applications, if you like, and that's the Google homepage. You see across the top we have some menus, and of course primarily is the search functionality, and we can do an example of that. Let's look up mkeyed file and it looks at the BASIS documentation. But let's look at this web page. It's been written with our menus across the top and again a search box, but you'll notice that this is a BASIS page and again has an active web page inside of it, but this whole page has been generated using Business Basic code. And similarly to the Google web page, we can change the appearance of the web page. We can go and choose from the various menus to look at my calendar, look at the buoy showcase, and even run an HTML5 video within the web page itself. So great functionality, great new capabilities. You might have found that last example familiar, and that shouldn't be too surprising. We had an iPhone app consuming a BBJ provided web service at our last TechCon, and we'll show you another one of those at this upcoming TechCon with a little twist. So that same application will be running where we can connect from an iPhone app to our hosted database, which might be Pro5 data, that's going to be served up by our BBJ provided web service to give us information. But that's all well and good, but what happens if we don't just want to run on the iPhone? What happens if we actually want to run that same app on an Android device or on an iPad or somebody else's tablet? Well, we'll show you at this TechCon how we could create that same code, and here it is running in a GUI environment, so this is just running on a desktop. And this code, however, is BBJ code. They can check that balance. And we'll take it that next step further, where we can run this in the browser user interface, which means that we can run this on an Android device or run this on another tablet type device, not just an iPhone device. We're often asked the question, how do I go about deploying this application? How do I write this browser user interface application? Well, very simply put, you write it in BBJ and then you deploy it via the Enterprise Manager. Let's have a look at that in action. So we log into Enterprise Manager, and then we can go along to the buoy configuration tab, And we just have to add the information relating to the application name that we want to use. And this example I'm going to use is add-on. We'll tell it where the program resides. That's the BBJ program that I wish to run. Give it a config.bbx file. As all business basic code generally needs a configuration file, the directory that it's going to run in. Give it some arguments and command line arguments, and I want to also pass it a user. And that's pretty much it. I'll save it, then go to my applications, and if you'll see that it's created a URL. I right click on that and launch it, and there it is. Very importantly, up until now, most of the code that you've seen running in the browser user interface is very small snippets, code snippets. And apart from our online order entry program that is available for ordering BASIS product, which is also available in a browser user interface, we haven't seen a fully fledged application running within the browser. That's all changed, and you'll see that at TechCon will show you add-on software, probably one of the more complex applications you could write using BASIS technology. It takes advantage of barista functionality and a lot of the common controls that you would expect in a vibrant, client-rich application with grids, checkboxes, progress bars, etc. So let's have a look at add-on software in action in a browser user interface. So we'll log into add-on, and we get our full MDI being displayed within this browser. So we can go and have a look at some of the standard maintenance type functionality that we might expect. Call up a particular vendor number, browse through the table to look at subsequent vendor numbers. So very snappy, what you would expect from a desktop type application, but here it is running in the browser. Let's look at some more complex environments. So one where we have multiple tabs available, and we have a header at the top. Bring up that same custom ID again, and we can see information relating to the name and address. Let's have a look at the profile tab and the aging and summary. So again, the richness of the business application being developed and deployed on the desktop can now suddenly become available to you in the browser. Let's have a look at a little bit more complex of an environment, and let's look at an inventory item. And what we'll do is show you that we've even brought across the capability of having a look at images within the inventory item. So within the add-on inventory structure, we have the ability to record an image for a particular stock item. So let's browse through the stock file and have a look at one of those images that are currently available to us. And then we'll take it a step further. We'll give you the ability and show you how, even in the BUI environment, we can upload a new image. So there it is. We see an image related to this particular inventory item. And we'll notice that it doesn't seem to be the correct one. So let's look at the options to upload a new image file to replace the one that we had available. So I'm choosing from my desktop an inner tube, and there it is, and I can save that away. So very powerful functionality that hitherto you would have expected only on the desktop is now available to you in a browser.
Thanks, Nico. Now let's take a look at some of the training that follows the conference. They'll pick up on Thursday and Friday. It's 2 days of training. The first track I want to show you is the barista training. The Advanced Barista Training is an intensive 2-day course targeting developers who have had previous barista experience and are ready to take the next step. Attendees will gain in-depth knowledge on the advanced form design, advanced call points, barista databases, barista configuration, barista internationalization, and also barista security. And finally, how to install and update apps at customer sites. The other 2-day track is our cloud training. In cloud training, you're going to learn the basics of using Google for email, documentation, instant messaging, SMS, phone for your business, and set up an Amazon AWS account as a platform for Pro 5 BBJ production deployment, including opening of ports and establishing correct permissions. By the end of the class, you'll have an Amazon account set up and know how to deliver your or our products to customers via the cloud framework. To gain the greatest skill set, you will learn more in-depth web-centric application development in Friday's course, which is Web Services BUI.
What about the venue for this year's TechCon? We're back in Las Vegas at the Renaissance Hotel, a Marriott property that is a modern hotel. It is off-strip, a very modern, functional hotel that served us very well last time. You're away from the distractions of the Strip. However, you're close enough right next to a monorail station to get to the Strip if need be. The rooms are spacious and modern. We provided Wi-Fi connection, internet capability included in the room rate at a very attractive rate of, I think, $99 a night. And you'll notice this lobby, very modern again, and note the absence of those fruit machines, no disturbing you from your main task of gaining as much information and making your visit as valuable as possible. If you have some time to relax, there's a great pool. There are fitness facilities for those of us who need some exercise to retain our shape. Overall, just a great experience, a great spot, and we think a perfect venue for us at our next technical conference.
So in summary, what have we covered? We've revealed to you the focus of TechCon 2011, Step into the Cloud with BASIS, literally following along with what we've done in our personal experiences that you certainly can benefit from. We've given you a couple reasons on why you should attend, both the interaction with the BASIS, the larger BASIS community, and continued involvement and education on the BASIS technology, the complete language stack, and of course the hands-on training that follows the conference itself. It's 2 days of training, and we mentioned that they are the advanced barista class and cloud training. For the next Java break, we'll be going back to Browsers Matter with Buoy, and that will be presented on April 20th. And I'd be remiss after talking about TechCon if we didn't talk about how you register. TechCon registration, there's the link for you, links.basis.com, TechCon 2011 REG. You can access it from our homepage by selecting on the icon for the TechCon event itself. Hope to see you soon. We'll stay online and we'll take your questions.